All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez here. Every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. I'm your favorite wrestling fan. Remember that. Make sure you guys, like and subscribe to the GSMC Sports Network. Watch the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, live every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Here to talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors. We talk about superstar, inactive statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and signings. We talk about promotions from AEW to WWE to TNA to Ring of Honor to the GCW to the NWA. If it makes major news, headlines in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show, 1,010%. So, it's going to reflect on what we talked about right quick. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw review. Now we're going to talk about some WWE NXT. But of course, before we get into any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat. Or if you ever have any question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears, 1,010%. We want you guys to feel a part of the show. Let's keep this conversation lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy, drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really, really, really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat? It's that $ below the chat box. Absolutely anything you guys put inside there is going to be talked about, maybe even partially debated about if it's a juicy topic on this show. So, also helps to keep the lights on for a lot of these podcasts. Obviously, your support makes all the difference. Make your voice be heard. Don't be afraid to, be part of the content that you guys love so much. We are super grateful. Obviously, thank you in advance. We are grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So, obviously, your support makes all the difference. So let's go ahead and send in those super chats, send in those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. All right, once again, if you're not a huge fan of the super chat, you can still hit up the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Shoot me your comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here, the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. So, make sure you guys, just drop your thoughts. But of course, in terms of talking sports, we all know it's inevitable that there are disagreements and some criticism, and that's okay. Absolutely okay. Feedback is a gift. Would just absolutely love to hear from you guys in terms of absolutely anything. Give me a shout out where you're listening from. Heck, tell me what you did over the weekend. No, I'm just kidding. But keep it wrestling. Let's keep it some good old fashioned wrestling. All right, so we have some WWE NXT preview and talk. Obviously, we're going to have the fallout of what happened at NXT Halloween Havoc, which was it was a decent pay-per-view. I ultimately liked it. It kind of received a lot of not negative publicity, per se, but people thought the matches could have been a lot better. I disagree with it. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I loved the opening match between, Tony D'Angelo, Oba Femi for the NXT North American Championship. I thought that was pretty dope. And I thought the main event was pretty badass. Zaria, the women's division on NXT is absolutely just on fire, on a whole different wavelength, on a whole different level of success than the NXT's counterpart on WWE. You have Raw, SmackDown, and then also on AEW, Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. TNA's getting, their women's division's pretty good. Recently you saw Jordan Grace, drop the belt to Masha Slamovich. So it should be interesting to find out how they incorporate a lot of these women superstars and maybe perhaps, challenging Slamovich. Once again, Ash by Elegance could state her claim. Tasha Steelz as well. There's there's an array of women's wrestlers that can definitely challenge for the belt now, which is kind of cool. I feel like that's a good reason why, Jordan Grace dropped the belt. Maybe she's going to spend some time in NXT, perhaps. Maybe you're going to see some NXT superstars like Brinley Reese, Carmen Petrovich. Obviously, you have the Lyson, Ariana Grace. Ultimately, it's going to be great. This collaboration between TNA and WWE NXT has been absolutely money. Nothing really bad comes out of this. If you've seen TNA, literally go from 5,000 to 6,000 people in attendance to like 10. Their ratings are, immaculate. It's doing super great. And, it's a very beneficial relationship because, the NXT fans are excited to see these TNA superstars. You've seen the Rascals, you've seen Hammerstone. I would love to see the Moose and the System come and try to take over WWE NXT. I feel like that'd be badass. Of course, you saw Joe Hendry, the international sensation, the wrestling sensation that you miss yourself some Joe Hendry. The NXT universe absolutely loves him, and well, like I said, it's a very beneficial relationship. I'm definitely glad that they opened up that forbidden door. All right, so tonight we have a casket match between Wendy Choo and Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley showed up on NXT Halloween Havoc. She spun the wheel. She spun the wheel. I don't want to see like a wrestling know-it-all, but I had speculation. I was like, all right, this has got to be a casket match because you saw Wendy Choo kidnap Tatum Paxley in that crate. So I was like, it just seems like it makes a lot of sense here. So tonight we're going to see Wendy Choo and Tatum Paxley in a casket match. I'm not too sure if that's the first ever, women's casket match. I think it might be. I think it might be. But overall, it's going to be great. I love it when wrestling promotions, kind of have these women do the things that the men do, and I feel like it opens up the popularity. It opens up chances for fans to see these women, in these spots of, obviously this would have been really important earlier, probably like 10 or 20 years ago, where, women weren't really seen as like competitors inside the ring. It was just like eye candy or whatever. So, I love that these girls are going out there. I love the, I'm not trying to be a, attitude eraist around here and be like, oh, what, I love the blood. Obviously, that the Mariah May Tony Storm rival on AEW was pretty badass. I liked it. I thought that was cool. But I love these intricate matches. Something that could help the women's division just stand out. And definitely on WWE NXT, they've been trailblazers of how you run a successful women's division. And it's pretty great. Wendy Choo and Rosemary recently suffering a loss at TNA Bound for Glory, trying to gain the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships against Spitfire. But Tatum Paxley also, she could definitely win this match. It's going to be interesting to find out who wins, but should be cool, should be dope. All right, we got Charlie Dempsey representing the No Quarter Catch Crew taking on Lexis King for the NXT Heritage Cup. In Lexis King's corner, we have Mr. Sir William Regal, the father of Charlie Dempsey. Maybe this is a way for William Regal to kind of come back into the fray of NXT. I feel like recently, in terms of higher ups, it's just been, it's been Ava, it's been Shawn, it's been Triple H, and now you have William Regal coming back. Maybe he finds a way to, help Lexis King gain the Heritage Cup. Which, it could happen. It could happen. Lexis King has kind of had this new character portrayal, kind of had this new transition into trying to be like a baby face. But, it should be it should be crazy to find out what happens tonight. I feel like Charlie Dempsey is going to retain the NXT Heritage Cup Championship. And maybe you see Lexis King out of pure frustration, attack William Regal and just being that heel that people love to hate so damn much. But I don't know. It should be, this storyline could be badass. Next, we had Nathan Frazer and Axiom taking on Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Every which way down the line, I felt like, Axiom and Nathan Frazer were going to lose. I don't want to bet against them ever, but Javon Evans is a young up and coming superstar. Cedric Alexander is an established veteran. If they decide to put the belt on Javon Evans and Alexander, I definitely can understand. But Axiom and Nathan Frazer right now, they are absolutely they're bombshells. They are they're super hot. They're the most hot tag team in the world of WWE as of right now. I'm not really sure who walks up the NXT champions, and I feel like maybe that's the reason why this tag team division is, once again, kind of succumbing and kind of, toppling over Monday Night Raw and WWE SmackDown in terms of the women's division, also the tag team division. So, I don't really see how any of these guys could lose this match. Maybe you see, Wesley kind of make his way to, screw over Javon Evans. Maybe that could, maybe that could be a spot. Maybe that could be a spot. All right, tonight, it's been, speculated that Bill Bully Ray, obviously, WWE Hall of Famer, is going to be on NXT to address Rich Holland. Maybe that heading up to match at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, representing ECW. They're just talking about this, and we did a little segment about it a couple of, about like 3 or 4 days ago. How there's probably going to be a lot of ECW, legends, maybe, making matches for tonight, getting their name, trying to go back into the ring. Recently, you saw Rob Van Dam sign a, legends contract. Maybe that could be, worth something. Maybe, you see somebody like, no, I doubt Tommy Dreamer. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt he would come back. Probably no Sabu. Probably no Just Incredible, no Sandman. You know, I would like to see some more nostalgia, in terms of, watching this event happening at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But, if it doesn't happen, I'll take Bully Ray taking on Rich Holland. I'll take Rob Van Dam, making an appearance, saying hi and stuff like that. I would really honestly love Paul Heyman coming out and making an appearance. That would be so badass. That'd be so cool. And he's a recent WWE Hall of Famer, and he's the lifeblood. He's the passion that surrounded ECW. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Zaria makes her in-ring debut. They recently showed a spot with her promotion a couple weeks ago, and I feel like her making her in-ring debut is, she's from Australia. She's also another international wrestling sensation. NXT's the women's division seems to be cleaning up and being a huge marvel, like kind of astonished, kind of like I said, they're like the trailblazers. They're the top, they're the top quota. They're definitely exactly what you're trying to strive for. And with the addition of Stephanie Vaquer, former New Japan Professional Wrestling Strong Women's Champion, former CMLL Women's World Champion, and then you have Julia, who's accomplished everything there is in the world of Stardom, and now you kind of have you have Zaria too. So NXT, it's going to be hot today. Make sure you guys check it out. Obviously, I can't wait to watch it as soon as we go off air. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be dope. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about Netflix's Mr. McMahon. Finally got done watching all the episodes. I'm going to give you guys my first reactions when we return. So, hey, do not go anywhere.